So, I would like to present to you my point of view why the prediction of rain in Australia is a valid theme. But first, I have to start from afar. Climate change. We all use internet, so it's impossible for us not to hear about climate change. Everyone who is someone already talked about it and keeps on talking because it's a worldwide problem. One that we are struggling to solve. As data shows, right now we are at the peak carbon dioxide for all the time that we could count. Evidence that support climate change are global temperature rising, shrinking ice sheets, glacier retreat, sea level rise, declining Arctic sea ice, extreme events, and even more. Okay, so climate change is real and it's a problem, a great one at that. But what about it? How does it concern the rains in Australia? Well, the climate change comes with extreme heat. Australia is well known for its bushfires which in controlled settings are healthy and wanted. But lately, those bushfires turned into the greatest fire of the continent. Because of the rising heat all over the world, bushfires in all regions are going out of control. Take, for example, the 2020 California wildfires. It was the anti record for acres burned. California's August complex fire has been described as the first gigafire, burning over 1 million acres across 7 counties, an area larger than the state of Rhode Island. But going back to Australia, the 2019-2020 bushfires burned more than 46 million acres, roughly the same area as the entire country of Syria. At least 3,500 homes and thousands of other buildings were lost, and 34 people died in the thousands of fires between September 2019 and March 2020. Several endangered species are also facing the risk of total extinction. For example, more than a third of koala population is thought to have been killed, while the loss of habitat will also significantly impact the species recovery. A study from Australia's government found that 471 plants and 191 uh, invertebrates were affected by the fires, with the most severely affected species losing at least 30% of their habitat. One major factor in putting out the bushfires were rains. Unfortunately for Australia, it was quite a low number of millimeter rains per year. And even so, thanks to rainfall, the bushfires of 2020 were put out. So, what does it mean? We can control the fires, so it doesn't matter if we know that rain will fall on that particular day or not. It's not like we can nudge bushfires closer to rainy days, can we? Well, actually, we can. We can conduct controlled bushfires which would be put out naturally by rain in the next day or two. This can decrease the number and magnitude of uncontrolled bushfires, which will help firefighters. Other aspect is to go from the negative. If there aren't going to be any fires, if there aren't going to be any rains in the next period of time, you know that this is the prime time for uncontrolled fires, which means we can prepare better. So, if we can predict rainfalls or lack thereof, we can save the lives of people and animals alike. Okay, so that's great, but how am I going to do that? Uh, how will I predict such complicated event as rainfall? First, I wanted to see if there were already implemented rainfall predictors, and there were. They are called weather forecasts. But rather than use data from previous years, weather forecasts use meteorological data, meaning that weather forecasts can predict weather only for a few days in ahead. So with my solution for longer forecasts and weather forecasts for near days, we will be able to predict rainfalls with great accuracy. I decided to use random forest algorithm or classifier as decision trees are good for classification and prediction, but they are bound to overfitting. This is where the random forest algorithm comes in. It corrects the decision tree's habit of overfitting, which is perfect. So that's it. Thanks for your time.